Good morning, presidential electors and guests. The meeting of the 2016 presidential electors is now convened. The Secretary of State, the Honorable Jesse White, proclaims this day, the 19th day of December of the year 2016, as a day fixed for convening the electors of this state to cast votes for President and Vice President of the United States. All persons proclaimed by the state of Illinois to be President and Vice President electors are now requested to be in their seats. I ask all electors and guests to please turn off all cell phones and pagers at this time. Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It is now my great pleasure to introduce Secretary of State Jesse White, who will serve as the temporary chair until the electors select a permanent chair. Chairman White.
Good morning. The media good morning. Glad to have you on board. The media has requested to broadcast and record these proceedings. Permission is granted. It is my honor to convene this meeting of the Electoral College in our great capital here in the state of Illinois, Springfield. In addition to the electors who will be introduced in a few minutes, I'd like to recognize a few individuals. Danny K. Davis, Congressman of the 7th Congressional District, who happens to be my congressman. John Cullerton, President of the Illinois State Senate. When the American public went to the polls on November the 8th and voted for their preferred candidate for President and Vice President, they were actually voting for presidential and vice presidential electors. Those electors from 50 states and the District of Columbia are meeting today to officially elect our President and Vice President. Here in Illinois, we are gathering for the 50th meeting of the Illinois Electoral College. There are 20 Illinois electors who are representing the majority wishes of almost 13 million residents of Illinois. As required by law, copies of today's certified vote will be sent to the President of the United States Senate and the National Archives and Chief Federal Judge for this district. My office will also maintain additional copies of the certification of the vote for public inspection. In order for this business to proceed, I'd like to have the roll call. Each elector shall respond by saying President. District 1, Tony Preckwinkle. Present. District 2, Carrie Austin. District 3, Sylvania Tabares. Present. District 4, Jesus G. Chuy Garcia. Present. District 5, Pam Cullerton. Present. District 6, Nancy Shepardson. Present. District 7, Vera Davis. Present. District 8, Michelle Mussman. Present. District 9, William Marovitz. Present. District 10, Lauren Beth Gash. Present. District 11, Evan Duffy Blackburn. Present. District 12, Jerry Costello. Present. District 13, Carol Ammons. Present. District 14, Mark Gately. Present. District 15, Flint Taylor. Present. District 16, John Nelson. Present. District 17, Don Johnston. Present. District 18, Shirley McCombs. Present. At large, Barbara Flynn Curry. Present. At large, John R. Daly. The chair declares that there are 18 of the 20 electors for President and Vice President are in attendance. Electors Carrie Austin and John R. Daly are unable to attend today's proceedings. In accordance with the provision of the Illinois compiled statutes, the remaining presidential electors must elect a replacement to the vacant seats. In accordance with the statute, I do hear a motion to nominate a replacement elector. Elector Billy Maravitz.
Thank you, Secretary White. Mr. Chairman, I nominate Patrick Daley Thompson to serve as an elector in place of Elector Kerry Austin, and William A. Brandt, Jr. to serve as an elector in place of Elector John R. Daley.
Elector Maravitz has nominated Patrick Daley Thompson to serve as an elector in place of Elector Kerry Austin and William A. Brandt, Jr. to serve as an elector in place of Elector John R. Daley. Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
The Elector Tabares has seconded the nomination. Are there other nominations? There being none, all those who are in favor say aye. Aye. Those who oppose say no. The ayes have it. And with those replacements named, we now have 20 electors present. The nominations are now open for chair and secretary of today's proceedings. Elector Mussman is recognized for the purposes of a motion.
Mr. Chairman, it is my privilege to place the name of Tony Preckwinkle into nomination as chairperson and Shirley McCombs as secretary of today's proceedings.
Elector Mussman has nominated Tony Preckwinkle as chairperson and Shirley McCombs as secretary. Do I hear a second?
I second that motion.
Elector Shepardson has seconded the nomination. Are there other nominations? There being none, all those in favor say aye, and those who oppose say no. Aye. The ayes have it, and the motion has been adopted. And now I would like to turn the proceedings over to Chairperson Tony Preckwinkle.
Thank you, Secretary White. All electors will be voting 2 ballots, one for President of the United States and one for Vice President of the United States. The ballots are located at your desks. Please mark each ballot with your preferred candidate. As I call each elector's name, you will step forward and place your marked ballots in the ballot box located to our right along the wall. I will now begin the roll call for casting of ballots for the office of President and Vice President. District 2, Elector Patrick Daley Thompson, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector Silvana Tabares, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector Jesus Chuy Garcia, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector Pam Cullerton, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector Nancy Shepardson, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector Vera Davis, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector Michelle Mussman, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector William Marovitz, please step forward and cast your vote. Just one vote for president. Elector Lauren Beth Gash, please step forward and cast your vote.
Our democracy is founded on the principle that people will have free and fair elections. When that ideal is threatened, whether through intentional voter suppression or by direct interference from foreign actors seeking to harm our legitimate process, our entire nation suffers. There must be a thorough, independent investigation into who, what, where, when, and how this election may have been affected by anything other than the free and fair exercise of our right to vote. This election has been unprecedented on so many levels. So too must be our response. It's critical that each of us does what we can to protect our democracy. Now and for the next 4 years, I proudly cast my vote for native Illinoisan, former First Lady, U.S. Senator, and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, who has the compassion, the relevant experience, and the proven commitment to working to make our world a better place, which she has shown in her entire life. She has the temperament and the judgment to be able to make our country proud as president. Hillary Clinton may be the most qualified person ever to run for president, and I'm very honored to have her.
Elector Kevin Duffy Blackburn, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector Jerry Costello, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector Carol Ammons, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector Mark Gately, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector Flint Taylor, please step forward and cast your vote. Elector John Nelson, please step forward and cast your vote.
My 87-year-old mother is very proud of me for voting in the Electoral College for the first woman to run for president, and she's going to be sorely disappointed in the ultimate results.
Elector Flint Taylor. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Elector John Nelson. Oh, I completely lost my place. All right, Elector John Johnson, please step forward and cast your vote. Secretary Shirley McCombs. At-large elector Barbara Flynn Curry, and actually it's both your ballots. At-large elector William Brandt, Jr. Please step forward and cast your vote.
Cast my vote for a friend for more than 30 years. I thought would be president, but I cast it even though it was a losing cause. With a great belief in the renewed vitality and vibrancy of the American democracy, the greatest political experiment the human race has ever known, which will survive and continue.
Pardon me? All right. Perhaps my instructions were not clear. If you only submitted your ballot for president, would you please step forward now and submit your ballot for vice president? If there's anyone who only submitted one ballot rather than two, please come forward and submit your second ballot. It's
Chairperson Tony Preckwinkle, please step forward and cast your ballot.
all the ballots having been cast. Secretary McCombs will now tally the votes.
It's my pleasure to announce that Hillary Clinton received 20 electoral votes for President of the United States. Michael Caine received 20 electoral votes for Vice President of the United States. Each elector is now required to sign 6 copies of a certificate of vote, which will be distributed to the proper authorities on behalf of. Well, that's Tony's.
That's all right. On behalf of Secretary McCombs, staff will begin the distribution of certificates for each elector to sign. The electors should be at ease for a few minutes while the necessary signatures are gathered.
C-SPAN's live coverage of the process in Illinois. As you can see, the electors are signing the paperwork, making it official, certifying those 20 electoral votes for Hillary Clinton. And a reminder that we'll continue with our live coverage in Pennsylvania at the top of the hour, noon Eastern time. Our thanks, by the way, as we continue to watch this in Springfield, Illinois, from WLS-TV, the ABC affiliate, which is providing us the pictures and transmission of this, the first of 50 states and the District of Columbia meeting today to certify the results from November the 8th. And the final step will take place in the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. But under the Constitution, Article 2, the electors meeting in state capitals to elect, in this case, our 45th president. Live coverage continues here on C-SPAN and on C-SPAN Radio. This process in Illinois will come to a conclusion momentarily. We want to remind you that our phone lines are open. Your reaction to what you're seeing in state capitals and here in Washington, D.C., 202 is the area code, 748-8921. That's our line for Republicans, and 202-748-8920 for Democrats, 202-748-8922 for all others. Again, the Pennsylvania Electoral College meeting in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, a state that went for Donald Trump. That's coming up at noon Eastern time. And in just a moment, a conversation with the Colorado Secretary of State. Live coverage here on C-SPAN.
The certificates of vote have been received and are in proper form. The business of the Illinois presidential electors having been completed, the chair now recognizes Elector Costello for the purpose of a motion.
I second that motion.
Elector Costello has moved that the meeting of the 2016 Electoral College be adjourned, and it's been seconded by Elector Gately. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? The ayes have it. I would like to thank Secretary of State Jesse White and the Illinois House of Representatives and Tim Mapes for hosting these proceedings, as well as the Electoral College for their participation in this historic event. I would ask all electors to please remain in the committee room for a group photo following adjournment. This meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. If the delegates would rise or seated, Secretary.
Heather, can you stand up? You're going to keep your seats, and we're going to stand in front.
They're going to do a photo right here in your seats, okay?
The back row may have to stand. The back row stand.
And the meeting has adjourned, the first of the 50 states in Springfield, Illinois, gathering at 10 o'clock Eastern time. It's now 10:30 in Springfield, 11:30 here in the East. And we're keeping an eye on what's going to happen in Harrisburg, also in Richmond, Virginia, in Lansing, Michigan, and in Austin, Texas. Joining us live on the phone now,